In a world overrun by the undead, survival is a constant battle. I fought to stay alive and built a colony. This is Morgan. After the virus outbreak, he escaped his hometown, but that was just the beginning because they were coming. I started with getting some wood so that I could build a shelter. I was working tirelessly, not wasting any minute. Once I had enough resources, I started building my base. It was raining, but I needed to finish it. I built some walls for my future base and set up essentials like a place to sleep and some light, but there was only so much I could do alone before exhaustion took over. And I completely forgot about food. Luckily, there were some bushes with food nearby. On the next day, I upgraded my storage room by building some shelves, and I finally got some food. There wasn't much, but there was enough for now. I also put some soil and planted rice and cotton for clothes. While gathering resources, I knew that I was gonna need more than just a roof on my head, so I put a craft spot to create some equipment. Just like that, I was working till the deep night before going to sleep, wondering what would happen tomorrow. And while I was minding my business, a visitor showed up. Just like me, he was one of the survivors. He already had a weapon, but luckily for me, he was only interested in trading. And while leaving, he left a gift, and maybe I will return the favor in the future. And at some point, I caught myself thinking that I could live a peaceful life here, but I was mistaken, because they were already here. And if that wasn't enough, I was attacked by chinchilla, or at least I thought that way, because to my greatest surprise, it started attacking the undead, one after another. But there was my turn now, and with just one arrow I put an end to it. Needless to say that it won't be that easy in the future. I decided to make a proper grave for this little thing as a thanks for its service. That was a hectic day, so I needed some rest, but while I was sleeping, the undead were getting closer and closer. At some point, they already knew that I was inside. I couldn't wait any longer. It was time to face them. After cleaning the area, I started building walls to protect myself and increase the safe area. It was finally time to harvest the rice, giving me enough food to survive. A nearby colony decided to attack, but it was a risky move, because before they could reach me, they had to face the undead. By the time they arrived, they were already beaten and exhausted. I easily defeated them. I was getting used to such life, surviving in this apocalyptic world. But before I knew, the undead were already near walls, only waiting for the right moment to attack, so I needed to act. But I made a grave mistake. I somehow fought them off, but I was bitten by a zombie, and getting infected would be fatal for me. I quickly tended the wound to minimize their chances of infection. I was exhausted, so I needed some rest. I waited for the results, knowing it was the only thing I could do, and for now, it seemed I was safe. I could solve the food problem, but I decided to build a research table because I didn't want to be the one left behind. Just like this, I spent the whole day and night looking for answers, but I was unable to find anything. I was developing my skills, but would it be enough in the future? I got food poisoning. Things didn't look good for me. I'd gotten sick from gut worms. It would hinder my progress as well as deplete my supplies, and with my current skills, I had no chance of curing this illness. I kept fighting one day after another, but my mind was about to give up. I could no longer cope with this. it was just a matter of time before I met my end. I gathered some materials to build a wind turbine. With this, I would have at least a source of energy which could become my light in this darkness. I also got myself a new companion. While it wasn't much, it still was better than spending my time alone. Other factions couldn't do anything to me, coming for their own demise. Suddenly, I got a quest. Annie was being chased by tribespeople. I could save her, but I would have to fight one of the attackers. I decided to accept the quest and prepared for the battle. She was running away from him, but I was already here. Just like this, we successfully defeated him. Luckily for us, we didn't suffer any major injuries. Her skills would be a great addition to us, but then something bad happened. She was attacked by the undead. She needed my help. I couldn't waste any second. I carried her to the safe place, but she didn't have much time. Her right shoulder was missing. I tended her wounds and stopped the bleeding, but that wasn't the main problem. She was scratched and there was a high chance of infection, so all I could do is to just pray. But it didn't help. She was infected and I didn't have much time to cure her. And without any treatment, it was just a matter of time before she would turn into one of them. I didn't know what to do. I was lost, and I wasn't the only one. My life took a grave turn. Everything was crumbling. Annie was different. She changed. The undead stopped attacking Annie, as if she was already one of them. But I couldn't let that happen. It was my burden, mine alone. And there I was, back where I started, alone. Wasn't this fate? Or was I never meant to stand a chance against them? Would I ever escape this nightmare?